the goal, I said, will be to create a theme slash template. Later, what do I call it? Theme slash template. I don't like the term theme. I explained that many times because a theme is just UI, and usually when we say theme, we can switch themes for a website. And I think that the things we do are more like templates to build new sites and not to switch them out. You might have a multi-tenant site that will be able, and all the tenants will be able to switch from different themes that are made for the content that you manage in your tenants, because they are all managing the same kind of content and have all the same kind of structure. But in this case, what we have shared with OrchardCore so far are more like templates. We'll see. So create a theme and so when we talked about it, Start Bootstrap. This is that thing, Start Bootstrap. So in OrchardCore so far we have done this one, the agency. We have done the blog theme, which I don't see here anymore. Yes, this one, the clean blog. It's called the blog theme. And for today, there are some new ones, right? Are these ones new? I don't remember them. Or maybe they just changed the front image. So the ones we have taken so far are MIT. Yeah, this one is MIT2, stylish portfolio. This is a one-page wonder, will rock your socks off. For those about, I have no idea what kind of theme it is, but it's also an MIT1. Landing page for business or project, okay. Business casual. They look new. We said we will do this one, which is a simple one. Antoine, tell me about these ones. What are they? Are they new? I don't remember I've seen them before.
Not so new.
So what is this one? Live preview. Stylish portfolio. This is the same kind of thing. Looks nice. I like it. One page wonder. One page. This one is the simplest one. Sign up. Login. Nothing here. Learn more. Nothing here. No clicking. So this one is the simplest one. Too simple. Landing page. Landing page. This is the same thing again with a little form, and this one don't really like it much. This one. So we said we will do this one, but we could do, see, it's kind of the same thing. Technically it's the same ID, so we have services, portfolio, contact. If I look at that, this is this one. If I look at that, we have no links. Let me see. Can we click on that? If we click, it shows a pop-up. Okay, so this one is much simpler. And this one, you can't click on. And this one, you can't download now. Is okay. Where does it go? Maybe links to projects. Click me. With a map. It's a real map. And a menu like this. Stylish portfolio. Okay, so which one do you want to do? I suggest this one of these two. Stylish portfolio or creative Start Bootstrap. Yeah, are you going to put this in a repo when you are done? Sure. We might make it in the core repo, we'll see later. Sebastian, can you also add quick run through a create theme from an existing theme? This is what we'll be doing. Example is to slightly modify agency theme to a new theme. So what we'll take is something which is not, I see what you mean. No, we'll take something which is there and build it from scratch. And if you can build a theme from scratch to have something like the agency, which will be like this one, then you can for sure change it to your needs. Or the knowledge you require has nothing to do with Orchard, but is more HTML, CSS. So I will just focus on how to make something be a theme and a template in OrchardCore. Then the rest has nothing to do with OrchardCore. It's purely HTML, CSS. So we'll see if you still have questions at the end of the talk. So which one do you guys want to do? We said we will do creative. If you prefer the stylish portfolio, it should be the same kind of difficulty.
I don't have a real choice. I'm here to see how the thing is created to begin with.
Yeah, I will take creative. Looks good to me. Links at the top. Let me check. I want to see what kind of technical things it will focus on. So no, yeah, okay, let's do creative. I hope I didn't miss anything here. Antoine says, maybe Antoine will say he wants to see portfolio because he's done creative already.
This is the one I wanted to do next, yes. But
okay, so you don't care. Okay, let's do creative. Let's stick to the plan. So I will try to do creative. It should be pretty easy, but we'll see. And there is another one that we might look into right after, because there is an open issue on that, about this one, the modern business one. And this one is interesting because it's not as nice and as polished as the other ones. It's just a blank theme, just showing some different layouts. What is interesting is that the kind of data that is displaying will imply some challenges in the implementation, because you see there is a portfolio heading, so project 1, project 2, project 3. So we have 6 projects on the home page, but there is a portfolio menu here with maybe a list of all the projects. So this is actually showing how we can build data, well, model the data that will be reused across different pages. So we can't model the data the same way as if it was just on the home page. The content items here will have to be shared across different pages. So that is interesting. So maybe we'll also look at doing something like this, because I will explain why we model the content items in a way based on the theme. Okay, so let's do that, and we'll see if we have time to do the modern business one. So when we start with the theme, we need to understand what kind of data the theme is built for. So here we see that first it's a single page. Okay, it's a single page. The same way we have the agency theme, that is a single page. We have menu at the top, but the menu is just pointing to this page. So we'll have a menu, and we'll have menu items in this menu. Okay, we have a single page, which means we could just have a single content type. Okay, we'll have more because maybe we want to make our theme to be able to have other pages, like other static pages, an about page or a privacy or whatever. But at least we'll have one content type which will be modeled out of the home page. What we see is that we have a title. This we already have for a page. We have a subtitle. This can be in the theme, or this should be administrable. So we'll look into that. Find out more. What is it about? This is just a link to this section. Okay. So a section with some text. Get started goes to, okay, next section. We have at your service services. So I assume these elements will be independent elements with a title, a subtitle, and an icon, which will be taken from font awesome. This way it will be easier than just include images. And I assume these are just icons. Yes, FA, font awesome. Okay. This is a section for the portfolio, and a portfolio is always made of projects. So we'll have a content type named project with a category field and a project name field. Okay, an image, and when we click, we have a gallery. Question is it a gallery for each project? I assume, and probably in this example they just reuse the same images again and again, but in our implementation we need to be able to scroll images for each different project. Then another section with some text and a download link. Okay, good. And then we'll have another section with some text. I don't remember how we did that things in the agency. We'll see if it has to be static or if we can, yeah, we can add fields on the content type. Yeah. Should we be able to, so like you see this section is as a title, some text and some link. We have a section with some title and a link. Title, so should we make something which is extensible with sections, but then we won't be able to handle the order. So first thing I see here is that we could have one content type with all the fields that will represent each part of the content here. Okay, so we'll know we'll have the, like this will be one section with fields, this will be the second one, this will be the third one, fourth and fifth, and then that's it. Or should we be able to add dynamically this kind of section anywhere, or like this kind of section anywhere, which is actually the same thing as maybe this one? Or so is it just, okay, we'll have a generic section or a services section or a portfolio section, and then in a page we will be able to insert these kind of sections independently. So there are two options: either make one type that is exactly this page, or a type that is flexible enough that an editor could arrange new sections like this, or not have a portfolio section, or have two portfolio sections, and so on. So that's a choice to make in the beginning. The simplest one being that we have one type like the agency with everything on the home page, or yeah, and the harder one is to have different section types, so we can rearrange them, and then we'll use widgets and the flow part. So let's say we start simple, and we'll see how we could change it to have widgets that will represent sections. I think that's a so create theme template. This will be so the creative theme, and we have two options. This is single content type with all the data on it, to generic page using widgets for sections. So this widgets for section is kind of a common pattern we see nowadays. If I look on the Microsoft site, I think this is the same way. You could think of the Microsoft site as, you see, a list of, again, sections. So this is a carousel widget. This is a list of portfolio project. This is a single slide widget. This is another kind of portfolio with different elements. This is another carousel. Okay, and they are all stacked like this. So we see this kind of websites more and more, and this will be more like a sections page that is based on widgets, and these widgets are, as I said, carousel, portfolio, banner, so just an image, or maybe banner with text. So this is something also we can do. That's interesting because that provides a better flexibility for the editors. Also more complexity for the dev and the editor, because the editor has to make choices, and usually it can also make bad choices. So it's a design decision to not provide any flexibility or to provide flexibility, with pros and cons for each of them. Is it clear? Did I miss anything? I didn't miss anything. Good. If you don't agree, don't hesitate. You just talk, just interrupt me. I'm fine with that. That's the goal. Otherwise, I will just mute every one of you or pre-record it and not let you say anything. So let's start with the simple one. Okay, not too many things. I said business theme. We'll see. We won't have time for sure if we want just to do that already. So that's good. Okay, so I have Orchard running. Let me see which branch I have. I will take the latest. This is the latest on dev. Okay. And don't remember what was fixed on this one. What was fixed was the widget thing, so we'll see later. So I'm good with this solution. I will take the solution because I will want to browse the source code, but everything we do should work the same on with NuGet packages. Maybe not the creation itself of the project, but might be okay. I will show you how to do that, and I will show you how to do that with NuGet. So I'm here. So to create a theme, you will just create a new project for a theme, okay? And to create a new project, in my case, I will just look at what's the content of the project file here and just copy it and remove what I need to remove. But otherwise, the idea is that when you use the NuGet packages, if I go in the documentation, and I will go in the dev branch of the documentation because it's much more up to date, there is a code generation templates page, and there is, unless we have merged the one, yes, a new theme. So Antoine made a PR and we merged yesterday that explains how to create a new theme. Create a new theme here. It's the same page, okay. Create a new theme, .NET new OC theme -n, the name of the project. Okay, that's what you would have to type. And to be able to have these templates, you need to install the Orchard CMS templates by doing .NET new -i, like install OrchardCore.Cms templates and the version of the templates. Okay, and if you want the dev branch, you have to specify this myGet package source to get dev branch. So once you have done that, you have all the templates available in the .NET CLI, and then you can do create new modules and themes, kind of project in the solution. So in the case of a theme, it will be .NET new OC theme -n, the name of the theme you want. In my case, I will just copy an existing one and replace the files I don't need. Okay, because I'm working with the solution here, and the project it will create with the template might not be exactly the ones we have in the core solution, because we don't need exactly the same kind of properties and references. But in the end, it's the same once it's published on NuGet.org. So what I will do is just create a new theme from that. So I will do a new project. I want to create a .NET standard class library. that I will put in the folder where I have all my themes, but you can put it anywhere in your own solution. So here I will select this folder and call it the creative theme. Okay. It creates a class which I will delete. I will copy the agency. So I'm editing the CS proj here, which I can close, and I'm editing the creative theme. I will paste. And what I need to remove now, I will remove everything that for now doesn't exist. Project reference, what is that? Theme targets, yes. So this project reference is required to mark the project as being a theme. So it will include some properties that will make it a theme. And display management will be required because we'll create views and we want to inherit from a Razor-based view or some tools that are only in display management. This is the theming thing. MVC tag helpers, because we might have Razor views. So I will save it. Okay. And the first thing to do, as explained here, is to change the manifest file. In the case of a template, it will be created. In my case, I will just copy paste it from another existing. This is not required. Well, I think this might be because of this assembly attribute in this case, but yeah. So the blog theme, the creative theme, author, website, version, we don't care. What's the theme a one-page Bootstrap theme for creative small businesses and other multiple purposes uses. Okay, good. So that's the manifest. And what do I need? Now, if I look at the other files in this project, so here you will see this is mostly the same list of files that are in the source theme. In this case, you see we include the license of the theme we just copy. So I will do exactly the same thing for the agency. We have the license. README is just documentation, which is also provided by the theme. So once we download it, we'll find it. What's in placeholder? Placeholder is just to have a CS file somewhere. This is not required because we have one CS file here. root, this is the folder that will serve all the static files from this theme. Okay, so this is where we put all the static files. This is also where we put the thumbnail that we'll use in the admin to display, to list this theme. Recipes will contain the recipe to display on the setup screen if we want to set up a new site with this template, with this theme. Okay, and we'll see how we create it. Snippets are files that are used by the recipe that we don't want to put in the JSON, but we want to put in a separate file to load it dynamically. So it's organizing the recipe into different files. And that's it. Views for overriding all the views and the widgets and the parts that we need to customize for the theme. So that's the idea. So we can create the folders. Yes, first, so I will create the folders manually. So I will add folder root. I will add the views folder. And I will add the recipes folder. Okay. And I will start by downloading the theme. So download. I have zip file, which I will copy. I will open it. And I will copy everything without thinking in the folder I just created. This one, copy everything here. Okay. Oh, it didn't copy. Yes, it copied everything. Okay, now it's a kind of a mess, but that's progress. So here I have everything. Now we start to arrange that. So the CSS, image, JS, SCSS, I assume they will go in the static folder of the root. One or more files will be moved. The operation will take a long time. Okay. It was not that long. That's okay. Git ignore, I can remove it. Travis, I can remove it. Gulp file, we can keep it. We'll see how it could conflict with the ones we have. I don't see them here. The gulp file has been moved here. Oh yeah, because it's relative to the static file, so I will move it there also. Index is the template file. I will keep it there for now. License will stay there. Package JSON package will go in the root with the gulp file. This is generated by the target we pointed to. This is a README from the source, and it explains how to use this theme as in the static assets and what command we have in gulp. Okay. We have the license, so we are good. So this is the actual content of the page as displayed here. Okay, it's a static file, and now we need to integrate it as a theme and to grab the content from the content management. So let's see from what we'll start. We can start from making it a layout. So the main entry point of a theme is the layout file, which is describing all the zones in where the content will appear, and that will also contain all the scripts that will be used in every page by default. So in this case, if I look at the agency theme, I open views, I open layout.liquid. Let's say we'll do it in liquid today. You can see here, so I will pin it and pin this one also. See doc type HTML, lang, head, and we can see the Google API's links. Same thing here, doc type, HTML, the links to the API. So this is how we build the layout. We just take the master HTML file and we change it by extracting some of its content into parts and sections, into small templates that we can reuse from this layout. So here, if I take this file as a layout.liquid file, it should just work. So I will just rename index.html as a layout.liquid file. Okay, and when I use this theme, anytime I will try to render a content item, it will try to inject the content of the content item inside this file in a zone I've specified. I didn't specify it for now, so it won't be able to inject anything, but the rendering should be exactly like the theme. And I will move this file in the views folder. Okay, and that should work. Let's try that. So now if I just run Orchard, so I will first delete my app data.
And you need to make a reference to the project.
Okay, thank you. So I will delete my app data. So I can start a new site. So Antoine said it's necessary. So the web app won't be able to load any module that is not referenced. Okay, so we have two options to reference the project. The main one that everyone will do is just add a reference to the creative theme. This is what I'm going to do right now. This way, the module will be loaded when the application starts. The way we do it in the main core solution is to add it to a file that already contains all the CMS related projects. You see, this is where we link all the modules directly. And this way, this file, when we publish on NuGet, will let you create a CMS with just referencing the NuGet package. It's a meta package. It's a package pointing to many more packages. But don't touch this one unless you develop directly on the core solution. Here you just need to point your project to the theme you want to use. And all the other ones are already referenced indirectly by referencing the CMS target, which itself references all the other modules that we ship with this CMS target. Okay, so that's it. So if I start the application now, so I will close. So this is the layout liquid. I know which one. So is this one the one? Yes, the creative. So I will close everything on the right. All but pin, okay, and I will start the project. Control F5. So I don't want to attach a debugger for now. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Yeah, I miss. There are many things, so I assume it's not for me because I'm not seeing that.
Okay. You will need to prefix any resource by slash and the name of the.
Oh yeah, yes, right. As the file is copied, copied like this, it won't work exactly. We'll see that. Index goes in because if you want to use Jekyll for previewing the theme with a static HTML file, if you want to use Jekyll for previewing the theme, okay. Okay, we'll see that. Interesting. So it started, and as Antoine said, you will see once we choose the other theme, it won't work because all the links are wrong right now. So I will take the agency recipe to start. We could have made one, which will not create anything, but right now I need a recipe, so I'll just take agency. It's the closest one. SQLite, user password, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, boom. I have the agency. Now I'll go to the admin side, and I will go to, I will authenticate. I have a content item, okay, which is the landing page of the agency. So the content doesn't work at all with the theme we have, but at the same time it will just work because the theme we just created. So I assume I have to enable it. Let's see if it's there. The agency, the creative, and it's not enabled, but we'll enable it and make it the default. You see there is no thumbnail. This is because we didn't create the thumbnail file we had earlier. I assume if I do it live, if I take the one from the blog theme just to see if it works, and I create this one, paste it here. So now there is a theme.png in the static files of the template, and I hit F5. Doesn't work. Maybe I need to restart because it will be compiled in the, we'll see later. So I will make the default. It was then enabled and set as a default for the front end. Okay, now this is my default theme. And if, oh, you can see also the description we typed in the metadata file that is reused there. And if I go on the site now, this is using the new theme. you can see all the content, which is just static file. So what's happening technically is that by going to the home page of the site, what it will actually load is the existing content item that is of type content type landing landing page that we have already created with the recipe the agency. Okay, this thing is the landing page type, and this is the home page. And when we edit this content, we see all the content from the agency. It doesn't match at all our template that we are using now. But it doesn't matter, because when we click on the home page, it will load this content item and then try to find the layout of the current theme. So it will find the layout file we created here and try to inject. So this layout file, when it's rendered, it will try to inject whatever is rendered in the content zone or the footer zone or the header zone, any zone that the content item is targeting. But this layout doesn't inject anything from the currently loaded content item. It's just rendering some static content. So it just works. There is, even if we had any kind of content item, as long as we hit the layout, it will show off the layout, render the layout. So we are fine, it just works. And as Antoine mentioned, if I look at the console, we will see that there are lots of 404s for all the assets, the CSS, the images and everything. Because when we copied the index HTML for that, it's looking at files like /vendor/bootstrap/CSS. But this folder, vendor bootstrap CSS, is actually now in www-root. It's not even that where, oh, do we need to build the gulp pipeline? Should it work by default? Oh no, we forgot this vendor first. Okay, so I will move that to the www-root. Okay, so it will look for /vendor. And when we are in a module, we need to access the static assets from a module by prefixing with the name of the module. The idea is that every module or theme can come with CSS, images and everything, or folders that will conflict. Like in the blog theme, I have a CSS folder. In this one, I have a CSS folder. In some other modules, I also have a CSS folder. The question is, when we do /CSS, which folder is that? We have no way to say. So the way it works in Orchard, because it's modular, the links to the static files have to be prefixed with the name of the module. So when we do /, it's actually / from the www-root from the main web app. Okay, from this one. Okay, but if we want to reference the www-root of a module, we need to prefix with the name of the module. So in this case, everything we have here as references to local static files need to be prefixed with href, and I will use /. Should I use / or should I not use /? Can there be an issue with tenants? No, there won't be an issue with tenants, so I can do a strong /. So the creative theme /. Why did I mention tenants? Because tenants could have prefixes like my blog / something. So if I do /, the URL will be not based on the current tenant, but that's fine because the static assets, they are shared across all tenants. Okay, they are always available in a tenant if the static files, if the module is enabled, which means the location is tenant independent. It's just per module, cross tenants. So here /tenants /vendor, and I need to add that everywhere we have a local reference. And there must be at the bottom also, there will be images here that I will do. This one, this one, this one. I will look for src equals. See, I will do all the src and then after I will do all the href. Okay. Okay, now href. This one is fine. Fine. We're good. Oh, did I miss something? anything? Yes, no, this one is good. This one is a local one, so I don't have to change it. Same thing, a local ensure. Okay, good, good. This one needs to be done. This one. These are the portfolio images. And I'm back at the top. Yeah, so I can save this file. Layout.liquid, which one is this one? Same file? That's weird. That worries me. That I have two editors open and they don't sync. F5, and you see now it looks better. It's not there yet, so we are still missing some things.
No, because you moved the vendor folder and you need to restart.
So that's why we have to restart, because it's supposed to be using the file system in debug mode, or in development mode at least. So the idea is that here it doesn't find the resource because it was not embedded with the DLL, with the assembly, which is done on build time. But in development time, it should also look for the local file system to pick up changes and everything. So we'll have to check with Jean-Thierry about how it's supposed to work and if it's an issue or if it can be fixed. That in development mode and not production, it still looks for the files even if they are moved locally. That should work. So I will just rebuild. And magically, no, I need to restart the site. Sometimes IIS Express restarts automatically. But I'm not using IIS Express, I'm using IIS Express. So and now it's beautiful. Okay, is it perfect? Let's see. F12 network. Do we have 404s? No 404s. Okay, so that's exactly the static template we loaded from the theme. Okay, nothing special with Orchard, but having to create a file layout.liquid, all static assets in the boot folder. Let's see if now the thumbnail is correctly defined in the themes view. It is. We'll have to change it for sure, but it's picked up. So now you know how you can create a new theme, a new project. Either you use the template from .NET New, and it will reference the correct target, or you edit the project and you reference this target. Then you create the layout in the views folder, you copy all your static assets in the dev.root, a manifest file, and you should be good to go. Now we need to change the theme to actually pick up dynamic content, or update it to pick up dynamic content and dynamic assets, or whatever we need to do. And also to move these things into editable templates maybe, or actually remove it from, or make it dynamic based on the content we have. So extract the skeleton of the HTML into the manageable files. So what do we need to do? First, the obvious thing. So I will just look at the layout liquid from the user theme. You see here, culture.name. This is to inject whatever current culture we have displaying the site. And by default, it will use the culture of the system, which is in my case English. Then what we have here, I will do the same thing for the direction of the culture in the body. Always start with doing that. So RTL or nothing if it's left to right. Good. Then here on this page we have meta chart set, UTF set, viewport, and here we have that. This render section head metadata required false. So this is, there's something which is scratching with my headphones. So this is liquid tag that will inject any resource, any tagging that needs to be injected at the top of the head section. Okay, so this is just an include section called head metadata, head meta. Okay, render section will include section, and we can find this tag in many places in the layout. This is the goal of the layout, being able to inject stuff from the current context of the page we are displaying. It can be some content, it can be some scripts, CSS, meta tags. They are just placeholders for any component in Orchard, any module, to inject stuff in the current page. That's one of the most important things in the theming, how to inject stuff somewhere in the layout. So this is what we need. So this one will let us, and I will put it the same way. I can put it there. Okay, here. So this thing will let us inject stuff at this location in the HTML. And what can we inject? We can inject meta tags, we can inject link tags, we can inject script tags, we can inject custom CSS tags, whatever you want, okay? Whatever the modules let you inject in this zone named head meta. This is just any name. I can call it foobar. It's just a logical name. Okay. Required false, meaning if nothing is injected, that's fine. You don't have to inject anything. Required true will mean there must be something or I will fail. Okay. Then the title here. This title should come from the title of the current item we are displaying. So here we'll use this tag instead of the static thing. Page title is a liquid tag that will build the title of the page. The page, I could just say, you see the site.site name. This is the site name of the full site. This is the one we use in the setup screen. It's called demo right now, and it's manageable in the general settings. I could just inject with liquid something like this, but I don't want the site name in my title at the top here. Okay, I don't want just demo. I want the name of the page and the site name, like demo dash homepage or whatever is the name of the page, about page or whatever. Okay, and to do that we have this tag which will aggregate all the pieces of a title that have been defined from any module during the rendering of the page. And by adding a parameter here, I'm adding a new piece which is the name of the site. So something somewhere is calling also page title with the name of the page. And then this thing here will call the same thing with the name of the site. And the end result is the aggregation of all these pieces which we put into title. This is good for SEO because you could create any module that will add stuff to the title or change the things in the title or reorder the things in the title. And to show you where it's done right now, because it's also interesting to know, we have a module called title part. Sorry, a module called title. And we have, so maybe it's in the view. If I look at the title part here, so this is not here. Do we have a handler there? Title part handler. I don't remember where it's done. Maybe in the base Razor page. Nope, either, but this is what is used. Page title builder. This is the service that is used. So maybe if I look at where it's calling add segment, so this is a service that lets us add segments of HTML into the title, and then this is what the tag is doing, just adding segments and then saying give me the full title, and it gives back the full title. So if I look where we call add segment, we do it in the Razor page actually. I render title segment tags, so we do that here. Did I miss it? Okay, if I can't find it in the next second, then I will mail page title builder title. So where is that page? Razor page. I can't find it, but it's somewhere. So somewhere we are calling it also for the title or the display text of the content item. So I can't find it. That's fine. Maybe it's from an extension method. I don't know. Okay, that's fine. But that's how it works. So this, what is important here is that this tag lets us render a custom title. Then we have this thing. Let's see what we have here. We have custom CSS for the site, nothing special, and then all these things. So the same way we can inject HTML in a name section, we can also inject resources like links, CSS, and scripts somewhere. Okay, but this is not using the layout sections like, oh, let's inject anything. This is using what we call the resource manager, which will let any module define all the CSS and JavaScript scripts that they require with the version and everything. And then this thing will resolve all the conflicts. Like if one module says it needs jQuery 3.1 and the other one says it needs jQuery 3.2, then this guy will say, okay, so I will render jQuery 3.2. Or if someone says I need a jQuery, then this guy will say, okay, I have jQuery 3, so I will just inject jQuery 3. Or it can also link to the CN and everything. CDN, sorry. So these tags are to use the resource manager. And here, this is to say inject all the meta tags that the resource manager has, all the links which go at the head, all the style sheets, which are also always in the head, all the scripts that go in the head, and then we have the same thing for the footer. So if I go at the bottom of this file, we'll find here that we have a resources. Did we miss it actually? Yep, we miss it, so that's very bad. We need to fix it. Here we should have it. So I won't change this file. I don't want to mess up with that. I will just do it in our template here, in the footer, which is in the body but at the bottom here. I will say it's called foot script. Let me show you in the documentation where it is, and that will also let me verify that I'm correct. We have a resource manager, resource. Did I type enter? Resources. Okay, these are the resources we have. Usage at head. So this is for the service itself, but from the tag helpers and the liquid, we have. It's not documented. Okay, it's not documented, so this is sad, but something else to do then. So what is documented here is how to, from any page, say that we require a specific script, like, oh, I need Bootstrap in this page, and this is in Razor. And this is what drives the injection of the resources type foot script. You see at foot. So this script, we say from this page, if we call that in a page, we say the layout should insert Bootstrap at the foot. Okay, and that's where it's coming here at foot script. So we'll see that into documented. So we have title, we have resources. Now if I go back on this layout at the top, what do we have? Then we have the navigation, and I will do the same thing. So navigation. So this is the HTML of the other template, and here we have this tag shape menu and that. I think there is a simpler one, but I will copy that explicitly. So this tag here will inject all the menu items here. Okay. You can see we have so container button. So this is a Bootstrap 4 theme. We have the container button, and then it should be the menu itself, okay, with the menu items. So let me check. Yep. So I will inject that here. Okay. What it will do is what it says. It will render the shape named menu. Okay. And we have parameters like alias colon main menu, a cache ID because we want to cache it, and a cache tag which will invalidate this entry whenever the content item main menu is changed. So here we say render the shape menu with the content item called main menu, and whenever the content item main menu changes, invalidate this cache entry. Menu is a shape that will load whatever content item we paste here and render the menu template for that. This content item main menu will be exactly as we have right now in the admin from the agency recipe, which is a menu content item called main menu. If I edit this content item, okay, this content item has a custom editor, which is to edit a menu based on menu items. And by doing that, we can manage navigation. And in the theme, this is how we inject a menu based on its name. So this line injects the menu called main menu here. Now, how does it render the menu itself? It's using a menu template. So right now I won't change it. I will just keep that as HTML comments, okay, because I will move this tagging. So is it this one? Yes, I will move this tagging inside the menu template. So I keep it, okay, but I put it aside. So I'm just commenting it, and I will still render a menu. So what it will do, it will render the menu based on the content items I already have here, with the default tagging for the menus. And we'll see what it looks like. It will be ugly, and this is why we'll theme it later in our theme. Right now we don't have it. And the rest I will keep. Let me check. No, I want to inject content. So here, I say that we have here render section content then, which is the content of the page we want to inject. This is the main thing. So we can do that, but I will do it right after we have extracted all templates. We see here a section footer, so this is good. I will create I will do that here, like in the agency theme. The idea again is to be able to render anything at the end of the file, okay, before the script. So these sections, they can be used by any module. We can also use it with the layers module to inject widgets anywhere in predefined sections. So that's always good to have sections like this around the layout. And that's it. So if I just update my site, it should work the same. You see here, I'm not rendering the menu that is static anymore. It's rendering the menu from my menu item main menu. And also it's using some tagging, which is a default tagging for menu items. So let's see what it looks like. It looks like a nav tag, ULLI, and for each LI, just href. The simplest thing we can see, okay? This is a default template. And I will show you where it's taking this templating from. And after that, this is the content that we just commented out. And we can see here everything else still works. We can see the ENUS language, which has been dynamically taken. We can see there is no dir property because it's left to right. And I think that's all good. Question so far? What did I miss here? Okay, in Gulf file comes okay. I always need to restart running files. Yes, we need to look to ask Jean-Thierry. I'm sure we maybe adding files is a special case, but you saw here that I was changing the file, it was taken into account. So maybe there is something with the new files we need to look into, or at least document and be aware that it's a limitation. Okay, so now let's focus on the menu. Okay, to theme the menu. I'm able to inject a menu with that tag. It's also cached. And now the question is, how do you make the menu look like this thing instead of just ULLI without any property or class on that and without it looking like this? So this right now is rendered ULLI, is defined in the module named menu. And if I go in the menu module, this is where the menu shape is defined, and this is where the menu template is also defined by default, and this is what it will be using by default. So this Razor file contains this logic. So it says create a new tag based on UL. And for each element in the items property of the model, okay, in the main tag UL, add the rendering of the sub-item. So it takes each menu item and it itself delegates the rendering to the template of the sub-menu item, but creates it in a UL tag, in a nav tag. And this is exactly what we see, a nav tag with a UL. This tag builder based on the model will also automatically inject the menu tag, okay, because it's a tag builder. This is a way to, so model is a shape, which is a dynamic representation of a view. And when a shape is passed into a tag builder, the tag builder will extract the ID, the name, the attributes, the classes from the shape, because a shape has this kind of properties. Let me show you. A shape is actually an object implementing iShape. You see it has classes, attributes, an ID. It also has metadata to be able to find which template should render this shape. But when we called into shape menu, we say create a new object of type menu, okay, and there is some logic in the menu module that detected that we created a menu shape, and this logic will load the content item here and build and assign properties to the shape itself with classes and attributes for all the menu items. And then from our template, we can reuse these properties that were passed as ID and attributes in the shape. So this is what the templates look like for the standard menu templates. So I have menu. And then in the, if I look in the admin again, so I will open the admin on the side. And if I edit the content items, I will find the main menu. And here the main menu has an alias and has menu items. And if I edit this menu item, it's a link menu item. You can have different kinds of menu items. We just provide one for now, which is a link menu item. We could have an HTML menu item, which is just a block of HTML to render. But with a link menu item, we ask for a name and a URL, and we will render a tag. So here we have a name and a URL, and the link menu item will be rendered by the link menu item, the menu item dash link menu item template. Okay. But what actually happens is that when we render the menu, each item is actually a generic menu item. So it will call the menu item template first, and the menu item template will use an li tag, and then it will be rendered. But no, it uses a li tag, and then we dynamically change the type of the menu item to be a menu item link. And then we call it again to render. So it will call the menu item link template. The menu item link template will render a link using the href property of the menu item and the text property of the menu item. Okay, and then if this thing also has other items, we render a new UL, and for each item we call again render its items, and this is where the recursivity of the menu appears. From a menu item we render sub items, which can itself call into menu item, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is where we have ULLIs, and this is where we have a href. This is the default one, but in our case we have a menu item link menu item, which will say it's a link menu item part. This is the way we model the link menu item, and this is the way it can be extended. And it has a URL property and a name property, which are the name property and the URL property. Okay, and we see here a href with the name. So if I go back on the home page, I hit F5. So the issue is now it's cached. So if I do any change in the tagging, it won't be redisplayed. And I think that was the issue last week that I showed when I tried to change the tagging. But if we wanted to update that, we could just add things like this in this file. But this is in the module, the menu module, and we don't want to change the menu module, or we sometimes can't because it's from a NuGet package. So what you're supposed to do is to copy the files you want to override into your theme. If I want to change the tagging of the menu, I will copy this file. If I want to change the menu item link for a link menu item, I take this file. If I want to change the wrapper of any menu item, I will change this file. This one you don't have to change usually, because this is what handles the recursivity. What you need to change is the menu for the wrapper, which is a nav, and you need to change the link menu item because this is what we actually add to main menu. These files are in Razor and contain some logic that you might not care of. So what we'll do is we'll take the same files that are defined in other themes like the agency, views, and we see here we have a menu liquid, menu item, and menu item link, link menu item. This is exactly what I said we should override. If I look at the menu.liquid, it defines something looking like Bootstrap, and for each item it will call render on each item. This is exactly the same code as we had in Razor. It looks much simpler because it's less C#y, but the model has a list of property items. Each of them is a shape that will call render, and we could add something around if we want, or change the properties of each items. Then each menu item is called here, and this is where we have the wrapper for each kind of menu item. And then we change the type of menu item to say now render it as a link. So the goal is to have a common tagging for whatever kind of menu item we have. We can render that. And then to have a specific rendering for each type of menu item. Is it a link? Is it some HTML? Is it an image link? Then we can delegate it to a link menu item. And in this case, we'll have access to the URL and the name. And this is where you see we can add classes and everything. So I will just copy these 3 files and put them in my new theme here. So instead of using the ones from the menu module, which is the default tagging, very generic tagging, we'll use this custom tagging. But instead of using the tagging I used from the other theme, I will look at the template we have here, and what it says is that the menu needs to be a UL with these classes. So I will take, I will take that, these 2 lines. This is my menu container. So I will go to the menu page here, and these 2 lines I will replace by the ones I copied from the theme. They might be similar, I don't know, but at least this is what the theme was designing. Okay, now the menu item here defines the li and the nav item. What does my layout say? Li class nav item. This is exactly the same thing. Good. Now each link itself should look like this. So I will copy that. I go to the menu item, link menu item. And what it does here, I will paste it here. And look at that, this is exactly the same thing. This is because the themes come from the same source, okay? And what I need to do is just, what you need to understand here is just that the link.url contains the URL, the link.name contains the name. And what is link? When we render a menu item, it's a content item. So the model will have a property named content item. The content item has a property named content, which is the dynamic content of the content item, like name and property. And because it's a custom content item with a link menu item part, we need to access this part and see what's in there. I will show you how you can figure out what's available here. But first I will save it. And then because these are new files, well, I need to restart. Yep, and also it's cached, so we will still have to restart. Yes, sometimes I will blame IS Express. We need to start it twice. We don't have to use IS Express, we could use Kestrel directly. IS Express will is just a proxy to Kestrel in this case. And look at this menu. It's beautiful and it's dynamic. Okay? And now, to show you that it works, if I add foo in this file, F5, it doesn't work because it's cached. So we need to actually also, let's see, if I save this file, does it detect there is a change? If I change this file, I will remove the caching. To remove the caching, just remove the cache ID. And you see foo here appears on each item. If I want to add something in each link instead, it will be better. Control S, F5, you see it's adding. So this is how we change the things. I will put the caching back. At some point we'll have a setting for caching that we can disable caching while we are developing. Yeah, here, and now it works again, okay? And it's free dynamic, so remember it's cached, but it's invalidated when I edit the main menu. So if I go back to my menu here, and I move contact at first, and I publish the menu, F5, contact becomes at first, okay? Now the theme is no more static, it takes into account whatever we change in the content management. That's very nice. Good, so we are good for now. Now, what should we do? Recipe or continue with that? Maybe continue with that and extract the content from the static file into dynamic content. So do we have questions? Questions? Looks good so far. Menu, title. Why is the title called Start Bootstrap? It's supposed to be dynamic. Oh, because it's a nav. Okay, it's a nav here. We can change it because the title itself contains demo. Okay, so we can change it later. So now this section that we commented out can be removed because the menu comes from the content. Okay, and that's the goal here, to remove every piece of static HTML and to make it based on content and templates. Okay, so F5, clean. Now this section, so now we need to model the content type of our landing page to match the content that we'll have on this site. So what we have is we have this headline, this sub-headline, this link, and some stuff can be just static, that's fine, okay? As long as we can change it somehow. So let me show you what we'll do here. This thing here is a file. let me check that we don't have this file here. So why do we have this file here? That's okay. So this thing here is a file, the layout.liquid. So if I take the content, your favorite source of free Bootstrap theme here, it's in the file. So we need to extract it into some content. We have two options. Either we extract it into some content items or some widgets or anything that can be edited in the admin, or we leave it in the template, but we make the template editable. Okay. After all, maybe we'll never change this text, I don't know. But what we can do is first, to make our template editable, is to move all of this here into a template in the admin. And then we can start changing it dynamically. Let's try that. So let's look at the agent theme and what content it took, whatever is in the container main. And you see here, everything is in this section content in the main container. So I will try to do exactly the same thing. What do we have here? Section contact. There is no such thing as a container ID main. This will be an issue later if we create a new page, but let's try that. Let's see how it will work. Here, page top, the navigation, render section header. Did we do that? The header? No, we didn't do the header. We did the footer. So I will do a header section. It's just a placeholder if we want to inject something. And this header section, portfolio, everything. Contact, I will take everything up down to footer. I cut it. I will inject a section named content. Okay. And the thing I just cut, I will make it template for our landing page, and I will show you how it works. So I'm going to the admin and I will go to the configuration templates module, and you see here we already have a template which was generated by the recipe. And I will keep this thing. I will still call it landing page for the content type. I will edit this template, but in a new site you will create it, but I will edit this one. And what it contains is the template for the content named landing page. I will keep this name. And this template is some liquid. So I will, here's an header. So I like it. I will keep it this way, but I will just paste the thing I copied from the static liquid file. Okay. And I will just tab it to be nicely organized. Okay, this way, and I will save it. So what's happening is that the content __ landing page is the template that is used to render a content item of type landing page. When we go on the home page here, if I hit F5, it will look for the home page. The home page is the only content item that I have, which is called demo, of type landing page. So it will load this content item. Because it's of type landing page, when it tries to render it, it will look into the layout, render it into the content zone. Okay, this content item will be rendered in the content zone. What will be rendered is the template of the content item, which is a template for landing page content type. The template for landing page content type is called content __ landing page. So it will use this thing. So it will use the HTML I paste into that to render the home page. So if I go on the home page and I hit F5, we see exactly the same thing. Okay. Now if I go here and I change and I say foo at the top and I save it, F5, foo appears. So I just changed the template for any landing page content item. My home page is of type landing page. So I changed the template for my home page. And in the content section, it injected all of this, including foo. Okay? Make sense? So I copied all my template to put it in the admin section. Why did I do that? Is because I want to allow the editors or the admin or any role to be able to change my template without having to go on the production side and change it or redeploy something. It's a choice. I decided it this way. You might choose not to let anyone change the templates. That's fine. That's a choice. My choice here for this demo is to do that. And this way, I could just say, well, I'm done with the site. You want to change the site? Open this file and change the content you want. Okay? So you want to add a service? Well, copy that, paste it, and you get a new service. So that's as simple as that. But that's not what we want to do. We want to provide a better experience for editors. But we could just stop at here, okay? And be done with it. And that's good. But no, we want the same experience with the menu. You change the content and it changes dynamically. So we'll do that. We'll extract, yep.
Sebastian, is there any way to like version that?
No, the templates are not versionable. They are not content items. So that's a good question. We could imagine that we could version the templates actually. That would be a feature improvement, but today it's not.
That's the only hesitation I have about putting something like that on there. It's great to be able to edit it, but then they can go in and break your site and you can't revert and stuff.
So first, I would say audit trail would be a good solution here because we could find the history of that and we could integrate it with the audit trail and see who changed that. It's even better than versions because you have all the history of that and you have something that nobody can deny. It's audit trail. So first we will need to integrate it with audit trail, but yeah, that could be an interesting way. We could totally implement that. That would be super easy to do. You should find an issue with that. I'm sure we won't do it as a priority one for the RC, but anyone who would like to improve that on their own time could do that if it's a priority for you. That's a good idea, I think. Then that's even better than the file system. Yes, you can say it's a Git repo. Yeah, but again, that's a choice. If you are afraid of people breaking that, you can not allow that. You don't have to put that in the templates on the admin. That's the choice I just took. But you see, the same thing could be on the file system. That's totally fine. Up to you. It can be also just pieces of the site that are in the template on the admin. Okay. And also you need a permission to be able to do that. There is the manage templates permission. We could even make the permissions be atomic per template. So you can't create new ones, you can just edit specific ones, like you can edit the footer or the whatever. Okay. That's, yeah, but good idea. Also, you remember the demo we had last week. You have the preview, and because we have the preview, you can just change on the left. And you'll thank Matthias, who's here, to be able to collapse this thing. So we have the template on the right, the template on the left, we have the result on the right. Beautiful. And I can decide to just change my template. And it will change it. Where is hello? So it doesn't appear because of how the tagging works, but if I go and change your favorite, you see this text? That works. Okay, as you type, you will see the changes. So that's also a way for you, Rob, to preview that you're not breaking anything before saving, because I haven't saved here. If someone goes on the site, like if I open the site on a new tab, it's not changed. You see, the site is still there. I haven't saved anything, but I can see the live preview of how it will look like when I save it. Okay. So that's the idea. So you can say, so now we have an option to say, okay, we want to make this part editable with a nice content item experience, or we want to make this part editable in the template. We don't care about making it simple. This can be part of the template as long as you can change that. So we have a level of flexibility here as a developer and as an editor to decide what we want to be able to change dynamically. And I think that's what we did for the agency theme. This section, we didn't really care about making it in a content item. We just left it in the template. So I will keep it in the template for now, and we'll see as we move things into content items if we want to go a step further and make it a content item too. Okay, so I will cancel my changes. Oh, even the Control-Z works live on the thing. That's beautiful. I love it. So I have that. I keep it. I can close that. Now you've seen how it works. Now what we need to model is the nice things. So what do we have on this page? F5. We have that. This thing I will keep it in the template. Okay. What I want to do, this thing I will keep it in the template for now also. These things I want to make it content items. I want to be able to move the services, because the services maybe like at your service, what we do, what you do might change over time. You might want to have 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. Okay, so I don't know, it might be. So let's make it some editable content, and that too, by the way, and that will be all for now. So let's make this an editable content. So this is called add your service. This will be a template. These items, we'll call them services. So what you will do is, in the admin, it happens I'm based on the agency recipe, which has also services. It's kind of sad. I should have started with a blank thing. So I will start with a blank one because I want to show you the full process. Otherwise, it will be cheating. So to start with a blank one, what do I need to save? I don't want to lose that. And so I will save it in a file. Okay, this is the only thing that I have in the content item. The menu is the same, that's fine. Menu, I don't have a main menu, so it might fail or just not render anything. Okay, so I will start with a new site just to show the full process. A blank site. Yep, blank site. So I will stop IS. I will go on the folder, delete my app data, and I will start again. So creative site, and I will use a software as a service. Oh, I will use, okay, software as a service, which will make it without any content, so not running actually agency or blog. So software as a service, and I will create tenants for each of the sites. This way it will be more flexible. So admin. So it's a software as a service site. It has no content. I just have access to the admin. So I will go to the admin page. Admin dashboard. And here you see I have access to nothing. I can, however, go to my tenants list. I have the default tenant, which is the site I'm running, and I will add a tenant that I will call creative 1. I might create many websites to test the recipe after. URL prefix I will call creative1. Hostname I don't care. Database presets I don't have to set them, so I create it. If I click on this link, I'm on the setup for this new site, but this way, I will also take software as a service. I will call it creative1. We should have a recipe which is a blank recipe. Got the message, Antoine? Okay, now I have a new site under creative1. I can also log in. Two sites. I can go to the dashboard and I can start configuring it. So first, I'm sure this one doesn't have, this one doesn't have any CMS module. Ah, crap. So I need to, yeah, we need a blank CMS site, actually. Recipe. So let's enable the content management. All these things we need. Fortunately, it's fast to settings, disable, no. So we have content, we need alias, we need content fields, we need content preview, we need HTML. All these things that are enabled during a recipe. For the other ones, we need list, we need media, we don't need the scene, we don't need markdown, we don't need queries, we need title, it's enabled. We don't need feeds, we don't need forms, index, the flows. We'll need the layers, I want to show that, and the widgets. And I assume layers should enable widgets, doesn't it? It does, good. Do we need the flows? I might want to show you the flows. It has a back part, so I need the flows, and we should be good with that. Sorry?
Templates.
Templates. We need templates. We need auto route. We need menu. Enable templates. I'm sure you are looking at the recipe right now.
Yes.
So what did I miss?
Auto route.
Done.
On a route.
We are good now. I see all the modules here. I think we are good.
Menu.
I did that. Okay, so you see, as I enable features, the site was restarted and reloading the menu, and everything is appearing now. So now I can go to content types. I see the content types menu and link menu item because the menu itself enabled that. So I can already actually create menu like this. Okay, let's create the menu. If I look at the theme, let's look at what's happening. Active themes right now it's using, which one is using? Is it using safe mode? Maybe no, default maybe. Yes, this is using default. I want to use the creative theme, so I will make it the default, and I go on my site to see what do I have on my site actually right now. Almost nothing, right? Nope, there is nothing. There is no home page. The theme shows Start Bootstrap, but the content is greenish. No, there is no home page. This is what the home page is. So I will just create a new menu just to see if the menu appears, and I will call it main menu. And the alias, I will use that. Remember, this is what I use in my layout to load this menu. So I will publish, and I can add a menu item. I can have only a link menu item right now. I will call it services and go to the services and shore. Publish. And now if I go on the site, I should have, no, the menu is not displayed. It tries to find something. Did I publish the menu? I didn't publish the menu. And now I see the menu. Okay. So that works. And now I need to copy the template or to create a type to be able to render the template. So I will content types and I will create a new type that I will call landing page. Okay, I could call it creative landing page or whatever, but I call it landing page. Create. This type will have title. This type will have an auto route because I want to be able to change the URL of the thing and probably make it a home page. It will have, that's it. I can already, so I want the title to show up at the top, the auto route below, and the landing page below. So if I create a new landing page, I can give it a title. This is my site, and publish it. And I want to make it the home page. Content types, I edit the landing page, I will edit the auto route, and there is a property called show homepage options. Save. So if I go back to my content items, I can say set as homepage and publish. And now if I edit it, this content item is the current homepage. It will not be the current homepage once I check something else on another content item. But if I go on the homepage here, now it's rendering the title, this is my site, okay, with a weird HTML because we don't have any templating for the content of the site. There is nothing appearing here. We still are using the layout, but the content itself is empty. So what we need to do is go to the template, and the thing I saved earlier, which is the full content of the static page, I will paste it again. And the template needs to be, so let me show you a trick. If you don't know what to type to override the templates here, you go on the thing you want to override the templates for. And here you have edit templates. And you say template for landing page content item in details view or in summary views. So if I click in detail view, you see it's creating content underscore landing page, the thing I needed. And here I paste and I just have to save. And now if I go on the site, this is the site is back, but everything is static. Okay. The only thing that will be dynamic here is the title, but we don't even use it. We could inject the title here. So let's do that to see how it works. To inject the title, I will go on the template. The title is, oh no, the title is in my layout, is in my layout section, layout file. So the title here is actually, so, oh no, this is a title that we inject. We should reuse the same thing for the title here. So where is Start Bootstrap? Where is this thing? This is in the navigation. Oh, this is in the navigation. Okay. So let's do that. Let's go to the menu. Where is that thing? This is not in menu. It's here. Okay, found it. So instead of Start Bootstrap, I will inject page title here. I'm afraid it will do something I don't want, but we'll see. Yes, it's doing something I don't want because page title will append that. So I just need to inject page title, and this is not how it works. Oh my god! So there's a mode.
Site name.
I want the title of the current page.
Oh.
That's why I want to use title, because I will have creative one. No, creative one is the title of the site. Yeah, so it's not injecting the title of the site. Okay. render. There is something called render page title. I will let you look at the docs. You will tell me, okay? Because in the docs it's explained what we need to insert just the title of the page. I think it's called render title, not page title or something like that. Okay, I will keep it this way, and I will do the types I wanted to do. So remember, I want to model the services here. So I will go in the content definition. Okay, did I save it? Yeah, let's be sure. Saved. Content definition, content types, and I'll create a new type. A new type I'll call service, because I want to be able to edit services on this page. Create, and the service has title, a description, and an icon. So I will give it a title. I will give it a description in the form of some HTML content. It could be some markdown content, but I will say service has some HTML body. And I want also a description, but I will create a field for that. I don't want an auto route, and I want an alias. I don't need to reference them individually or to have them on a separate page. I just want to save it this way. I don't want to be able to create them directly as a main content item. I want them to be part only of the landing page. I don't want them to appear in the list. I don't want them to be version or draftable. I don't want them to be secured individually. So I will save that. By unchecking everything, they don't appear anywhere. Okay. But I want to add a field called description. It will be a text field. Save. Text or HTML. Text is simpler. We don't want to provide.
No, you wanted a
icon.
class for the icon.
Yes. Okay. So it's not the description I want. I have the title and I have the description. What I want is an icon class. Icon class like this, and I want it to be a text field. Okay, save. Hint, please enter the class name, the font awesome class name to display for this service. What type of editor? Multiline or standard? I want standard. Save. And because we pushed something last week, what would be cool here would be to provide an editor that will be a list of font awesome classes. Wouldn't be awesome that we could say, so here, this is something we added last week, so we can select what kind of editor you want to see. So here I could say multiline and select the color I want to type the text in. Stupid, but it was to show off the feature. So here we could have a module that will provide, because we use font awesome in lots of places because it's used by Bootstrap. So we could have an editor that will let you select the icons from the font awesome list, and that will just render this thing, and you could browse for them, search for them, and you just, oh, this is the one I want, and you click, so it will save the class, but you will have an editor for these classes. That will be so great. Jasmine is already on it. Tomorrow you have it. That's so great. Okay, so save. I'm diverging. Icon class, okay, and this will appear. I want the title to appear first, then I want the body to appear, and then all the fields for my service, and I save it. So I have a service, but I can't create it. But I have a landing page. I want my landing page to have a list of services. So I will go to my landing page, and I will add a named part. A named part, so part is what is part of the content type. A content part has a title, has an auto route, has a landing page fields. But a name part is when I want to reuse some parts multiple times in a content type. And there is one that can be a name part, which is called a bag. A bag is a collection of other content items. I will call this bag services. And I will say the list of services for a landing page. So I select the bag. And now I will say, I will edit my services. I will put them here at the end. And I will edit the properties to say this bag can contain what? It can contain only the service content items. Okay? And I will save it. Now if I create a new landing page, do I have a landing page already? Yes, I already have. If I edit my landing page, you see services is available, the list of services for landing page. And I have add item, and on the add item, the only option I have is service. And if I do add, it shows me the service content item with a title, a body, and my icon class. And you remember, please enter the font awesome class name to display for the service. So I will take this thing, sturdy templates, the body, which will be my description. This is HTML, but I will just paste some text right now. And the icon class, which is FA diamond. This is what I want to type here. Publish. Okay. So my site has a service, and I can open it, and I can add new ones if I want. Okay. I will add 2 of them because I should have added them first. So ready to ship. So ready to ship, and this. That, and this is FA paper plane. Publish. Okay, if I go on the site homepage, I should not see anything. It's still displaying the static text. But now I don't want to show the static text. I want to go and find my services. I have 2 right now, and render them here. So we'll go to the template. And now just say, instead of services, at your service, sturdy template, ready to ship, up to date. And what we have here is that for each service, we have this section. Okay? And we just need to replace the title and description and the icon. So I will remove all the other ones and keep only one. And here I need to do a loop. So how do we access our content item? I will try to dump the full content item. To do that, I have a model.content_item.content. I'm editing the template of a content type. In this case, the model is a shape containing a property named content item, which is a content item that you are currently editing. A content item always has a content property. So a content item has an ID property, a content item ID property, a content item version property, it has content type, and it has content, which is a dynamic content we edit for this content item. Remember, this contains a title, this contains an auto route, this contains services, and so on. But I will just dump the content here, and I will dump it in a code. It might look better if I dump it in the code tag. Let's see. And what I will do is preview it. So preview, separate page. There is a 404 in the preview. This is super sad. Why is it going to this thing? It worked earlier, didn't it? What am I missing here?
Maybe copy the liquid code, reload, and retry.
What do you mean? Copy the liquid?
Copy your changes. Yes, copy your changes, reload.
No, it's a 404 because it goes to this page. It's not doing what it should do. It should open an iframe with the content of the home page. That's weird. I'm confused. Okay, I'll leave it to later. I will go on the home page to see what's happening. here you see, I don't have the preview, but I can hit F5 when I save. That's kind of sad. That's weird. Landing page. This is the type. We have an route part. It's set as the home page. We have the title. This is my site. We have the content items. Oh, look, we have a services property, which has a content items property, which has an array of other content items. Okay, so services.content items is an array of services. So let's see what we have here. If I go here, where is the code I typed? Here. I can do a loop. I can do a for loop for service in, I don't know the syntax. So it's model.content-item.content. I said we have a .services property. The services property has a content items property, which is an array. So I will do that here, and I can loop up to there. Okay. Then instead of displaying that, I will render my service, each service. I will try again the preview.
N4.
I missed the N4. Is that what you say? N4. Yeah, that's weird. So, okay, so I will save it because I can't preview. F5, and now you see I have 2 times the same static template, but I can dump my service each time. And I have access to what do I need? .html body part .html, and also title part .title and service .icon class. So here we just need to replace that by, let's inject service.service.icon class text or value. I will say value. Text. I'm so bad at Orchard. Text. Here, this is the title. So service dot title part dot title. And here is special because we'll do service.html part.html. This is HTML, which means it can contain tags, which means we should not encode the result in HTML. The default behavior for inserting the liquid is to encode automatically everything in HTML to be sure there is no leak of the code you're typing. So here what we need to do is say no, don't encode that. So there is a filter which is raw that says take the raw content, don't try to encode it. I will save it.
HTML body part.
I won't save it.
HTML body part.
I will just copy paste. That's what I type now. Yeah? That should be right. Save. F5. Sturdy templates, the icon, the content, and you see it's dynamic because I have the ready to ship. You can use this theme as is, blah, blah. And I can now just remove the injection of the content we just dumped here. Save it again. Save. F5, and it's beautiful. We have 2 services. Okay, this theme obviously is not done for having a variable list of services. It should be centered, but that's something you can change. Now, experience as an editor. I go to my content items. This is my site, which is home page. I have 2 things. I open the preview. This time it works. I will put that on the side. I see my services here. I will go to the admin, and let's look at that. I move that first, and as I drop, boom, it changes there. I edit that. or let me add a new one, add a new service. So I will take whatever is on, this is an old page. Where is the theme, the official one? Up to date, that, this is not what I want. FA newspaper, up to date. And as I type a new one, up to date, paste, FA-newspaper. No. -O. It's magic. Boom. This is beautiful. I love it. And I will do the last one, because why not? Made with love, heart, and that. An item service. Made with love, paste, and FA-heart. And publish. And because I published, I quit the editor, so the preview is gone. But that worked nicely. This is my homepage, F5, and I have my services. And ready to ship is not in the correct location, so let's change it. It should be there. Save. I can save it as a draft, but I publish, so it's visible on the site. F5, and now it's at the correct location. Okay, that works. So I won't do the next section because the goal was really to show how to do that. I will tackle some other matter right now. So if we wanted to do the portfolio, we will create a project type. We will add a new back part named portfolio. We would add the fields that are needed for the portfolio, including a media field, and create all our items. Then change our template to use all our items instead of the static content. Okay, this is now pretty straightforward. This is how we do the things. Now I want to show you how to create a recipe. To be able to build a recipe, a theme template that will use this theme, enable the CMS modules, create the template layout in the admin section, create static files with all the assets we need, like CSS, JavaScript, and everything. Well, this is in the theme. Create the content items, like these ones. Okay, the content type. So let's do that. So to do that, so I'll create a new file, and then I will copy paste what I need. So the file for recipe has to be whatever.recipe.json. Okay. So here I will add a file. JSON. Can I search JSON here? JSON file. Creative.recipe.json. And what I need is this header. I will take that. Steps. And this. Okay. So name creative. Display name creative. Description. This is the same thing as we have in the metadata. Maybe too long of a description for our admin page. We'll see that. Author is setup recipe. Yes. Categories default, tags creative. This is fine. Okay, steps. Steps are whatever action will be taken during the setup screen, the setup phase. So what we need, so we need to first create content type. Let's see what we have. Enable modules for the CMS. So I will go to the agency and see what steps we have. Theme. This step, okay, we have some more here. Features. I will take the same features as the agency. So the step named feature will enable a list of modules. Okay, all the ones I enabled manually, plus some more, but I will just take that. The theme one will define what is the default theme for this new site. So this is not the file I want to edit, this is the file I want to edit. So in the steps, an array of enable features, select the theme. In the admin we use the theme, and on the front end we use the creative theme. Then what do we have? We have the settings. Settings here, display item contents, the home route. So this is defining what content item should be the home page. So I will copy that, and it says display item contents, the variable named landing content item ID. And I think this is what I didn't get last week. Where is that coming from? Oh, here, it's in the variable. Okay, good. Why didn't I get it by default? So we define a variable for this recipe that will be evaluated once with a UID. So it's creating a unique identifier that we assign to the landing content item ID. And we will reuse this value as the content item ID of the content item that we want to display as a home page. So this is a pointer to this content item ID. And when we create the content item itself in the recipe, we'll use also that to set it to the content item. Okay, so this is the home page. There is settings for the layers. We don't care, I keep it. Now content types. So content definition with listing a content type, so liquid page. So this we don't need. This is just to make the experience of a CMS better, but I will just take what I need. So I will copy that step, content type, and content item. So content type and content item, paste it here. Go back.
You could create a deployment plan and export.
Yes, then I will try to do that just to, yeah, correct. So let's see how it works, because here I copy, but I will do what Antoine is saying is better. So what we have in the admin, and I will probably need to enable the module, deployment, okay. We have the deployment module to deploy anything from the site, as long as it's supported. But so import export, I can create a deployment plan. A deployment plan, I will call it recipe. Create. And then I can add, when I edit it, I can add steps to my deployment plan. And step will export whatever the step is supposed to export. All the content items, specific content items, specific files, all the roles, templates, content definitions. And what I care here is I want to export some content, which is I want to export all the landing page content. And I want to export all the content definitions. And I want to export all the templates. And obviously that would be better to have more choices like specific templates, specific content definitions, things like this. But again, that's completely extensible and we can add it as people need it, or if you need something, please add it. So here, and now I can execute my deployment plan. We can execute a deployment plan anywhere we want, to a file or to an external server. We showed it last week. So here I will say file, and the deployment plan has been executed and gave me a zip file. And the format of this zip file is the same as the recipe. That's good for us. So if I open this file, you see it's creating a recipe with a content step that will contain the content I created. You will see there is a title part, this is my site, services containing content items, and we see the diamond. Everything we typed is exported as a recipe step here. So I have my content step here. Good. I have my content definition defining what the menu is, what the title part is. Sorry. Yeah, what it is, but I will just pick the ones that I know I created myself, which are landing page and service. Okay, but I will copy everything and then remove what I don't need. So content definition, and then templates. Oh, look at that, we have the template here. Template, content, landing page, and this is the content of the template. Good, we have it here. I will show you how to use that also better than this way. So I will copy that, go back in Visual Studio, and what did I have here? Settings. So I can say, comma, paste all the things that I exported, and I will just remove what I don't need. So the content thing, what does it contain? What is that? This is the landing page. And remember the content item ID, we need to pick up the value that we defined as the home page, which is that. Here, use this ID. And that, I don't care. We can keep it this way. I will keep the value. We could clean it and remove the values here, but so far I don't need to remove that, so I won't. It's just to show you how it works. Services contains all the services. Good. Content definitions, content type, menu. I don't need the menu content type. I don't need the link menu item. Just going to remove that. I need the landing page, so I will keep it as is. I need the service. Content parts. I don't need the alias part. That's why we need a better export step to be able to pick up exactly what we need, so we don't have to do the cleaning after that.
Is there an easy way to cheat and get these properties somehow off the site?
I just got it out of the site. I don't care. That's exactly what I did. No?
Okay, I must have missed that. I thought you copied it over from the other agency.
No. Oh no. Okay, so let me go back. I went to deployment plan. I created 3 steps: content types, content definition, all templates, and I said execute. And I say execute to a file. Select. And here
okay.
at the bottom here, it created a zip file. So I clicked on a zip file and I opened the recipe zip file which has been created. So yes, I took it from a recipe file, but not from the agency, from one which has been exported from my site.
Sorry about missing that.
And what I was saying is that you see it's showing all the content definitions and I had to remove them. So if we had a better step that is just a set of content definitions, I could have just selected the ones I wanted. So here, settings I need it because this is the definition of the settings. And templates contain the templates. So what is bad with this thing is that this JSON document contains some HTML and that's super long in a JSON document. So what we can do in template is in the content here, we can say extract the content from an existing file, which is in this folder. So this is what we do here. You see landing page.liquid in the agency theme. We can take the file, the template we created in the admin, put it in a file and load it from the recipe. So let me show you how it's done. Here, landing page, file, text, blah, blah, blah. This is my recipe. This is the full content of the template. I don't want that. I just want that. So it's a command called file that will execute the text method. And that will say, go and find the snippet/landing page.liquid file, which I will put in my theme here. I will create a folder. Snippets can be anything. I just want to keep the same name. I just want a text file. Can I have a text file? Landing page.liquid is an empty file, so I will go to the site, go to configuration templates, this one, copy, paste. This way I will keep everything formatted without the backslashes and everything. And the recipe, just load this file and call it content__landing. Okay, no description, I don't care. save it. So I have a recipe file. It would be awesome if it was working on the first try. Antoine, what did I miss? So I will check with Antoine. Nothing, right? It's beautiful. It will work.
Yes, it should work.
It should work.
It
What?
could replace the content version ID by new ID, but
Yeah, we can do that. It will do a new one every time if I run it. I don't really like it. I like actually to keep it this way. Just for later when we support idempotency. The idea is that when we run the recipe multiple times, it should not create as many new items. It should just overwrite the existing ones. So that's why we should reuse that thing. And probably the same thing here. But it's a setup recipe. Okay, I'll do that there. Okay. And this could be just ignored completely. This way it will be using the current time. But I don't want to break anything, so I will keep it this way. So now I have a file. I will build the module. I will close IIS just to be sure it's retasked. I have 0 failed, all succeed. Control F5, and I will create a new tenant. So I have a main SaaS website that contains one tenant called Creative1, which I built manually, and now I will create a Creative2 from the recipe. Again, doesn't start the first time. I blame IIS. Why would I blame my product? Just blame the others. Okay, I go to the admin of the main site. I go to the tenants. I have one tenant, Creative1. I will add a new one called Creative2. URL prefix Creative2. Database presets none, create. I go to the setup of this site and I should see Creative, a one-page bootstrap theme for creative, small business, and other multi-purpose uses. I will take this one. I will call it Creative2. So if I pre-select, yes, after I can do that, I can select SQLite. I can do a user password. Have to be the same. They are isolated databases. Finish, and if we are lucky, we are not that lucky. Shape type layout not found. So it didn't find the layout shape. Which is weird because, okay, let's go in the admin. Maybe everything is broken. So maybe the theme that we set in the steps is wrong. So this is the features. Oh, I know. What we don't have in the list of features is the theme we want to use. That's why. Okay? We didn't enable the theme we wanted to use, so that's why it didn't work. Okay, that's fine. I will create another tenant. That's expected. It can't work the first time, first try. Creative3, Creative3, create. Fortunately, it's fast. Recipe creative. Oh, yeah, I changed the content of the recipe. Will I have to restart, rebuild? I don't know.
I would have restarted because I think they are embedded.
Yeah, but we have a file provider. I don't know. We are currently debugging, so while developing. Let's see. Well, we should have rebuilt, I think. If you want to delete tenants, you can go just there, 2 and 3, we can delete them. It might have been too late now. Maybe I broke everything now because I just deleted it while it was already started. Nope, that's good. Creative 2. And it works. The menu is completely empty. We could have created content items from the recipe, but we have the template which has been loaded. We have the content items which are there. So if I go to the admin, we should also customize the login page or change the container. Content items, we have no menu. We didn't copy it from the previous site. This is my site. I have my 4 items, and obviously if I change that to the top, up to date is on the top. I go to the site, it works. Okay, so that's it. I'll finish there and take some questions if you have. Child seems yes exists. Okay, Rob.
Yeah, so sorry, I know you've been going a long time, and so maybe there's a you know, next week or something like that I can talk about some of this stuff. But do you plan on like having a gallery of these themes that have been converted over or anything, you know, like we had before?
Yeah, so my current goal for the gallery is to use NuGet.org, because these are have nothing specific compared to any NuGet package. We can use NuGet.org to put the themes there. We could have our own gallery, but it's a lot of work and we have limited resources. So right now I'd rather use NuGet.org or use a MyGet gallery to put the themes there. All the ones we have developed in OrchardCore are already on NuGet.org because we ship all our modules on NuGet.org, so they are there. And you can point them directly to the NuGet.org gallery. And it's also a better experience when you create a new site. They are all available already on NuGet.org, so you just add a package and it's there. So everything that is in core will be on NuGet.org, and everything that anyone creates should put them on a gallery. So yes. Other questions?
Yeah, Sebastian. I saw you delete the index.html file, but how would someone make change to the CSS files themselves? Have you explained that, or?
No. No. So, and I assume you know better than I do. So if we look there, I copied the Gulp files and everything, and it's documented. So I assume, so that, oh, you mean to test the changes? The index file will be useful, so I should have kept it in the dev root, and then we can change the SCSS and all the things and just run the Gulp pipeline, which is explained in the README. That's how someone will do that?
Yeah, normally a content developer would use directly the Gulp file just to make changes to the CSS files and the content itself. It's easier like that because it doesn't have to bother about having dynamic content in his templates, and then you take the templates and just add them for the developer that use that.
Okay.
So yeah, normally I would keep the index file there, but also you can still make changes there with the SAS files with the Gulp file too. So you could change want to change just the CSS file directly, even without having the index.html file. And that you can do by using gulp.
Yep, that will still work because we are just referencing the CSS file, so that will work right now. But I will put it back here, just in case I want to reuse that. So you say in the folder root, I should have kept the index CSS.html to be able to iterate on the design if I need to change it. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Questions? So stuff we haven't looked into is the business theme and how to share content items between the landing page and some other pages. So we can do it another day. But I think that's a good starting point to see the full process of creating the theme and deploying it or reusing it. And now if you want to deploy it, actually, right click, and there is back. So I will do it just for fun. And now I have this file, the creative theme 100 beta 3.NuGet package. You take it, you put it on NuGet. Anyone can use it and create a new, as you create your new site, Orchard site, you reference this package, you start your site, and in the setup recipe you will see the creative theme available to create a new site with that. Can't be simpler than that. Just pack and put it on NuGet, and that will work. That's what we do for all the themes we have. Your questions? I'm not at the bottom. Yeah, so Antoine already published this one. Resume.OrchardCore, which is based on another Start Bootstrap site. Which is this one. So Antoine made this one as a NuGet package already on NuGet.org, and you can see how you can distribute your themes on a gallery. And let me show you, by the way. So I have the application, because that's the goal also. I have the application. I will stop. I will show you how it looks like when we do that. Might not work because of version management, because I'm using the source code here. Let's see. Dependencies, manage NuGet reference, and I will search for OrchardCore resume. Oh, better just type the name of the package.
Resume.OrchardCore.
Pre-release, maybe that's why. Install. Yeah, there is a version management conflict. It's trying to load the NuGet package, but I am on the source code. So I should start a new project and actually do that. Another day. But that's how you will do that on your own project that references Orchard CMS targets. Then you also reference this package, you start and you have it. That's it. As simple as that. Sorry, Antoine, I couldn't make it to work. Next week I'll do that. I lost my page. Come back. No, that's not where I wanted. My God. Good. Okay, I think we are done. Unless there is another question on the chat. Okay, good. So next week, my current subject is to show how to build a content-driven site without shapes. So using Razor Pages, to have a separation between the site you build and the content you edit. Meaning today, if you want to build a site, you will override some shape templates and use the main content item controller to render each content item. What I want to do is just, it's not a headless, it's like separation from the content management and from the site that will render, still hosted in the same website. But the CMS won't drive the rendering. Your application will drive the rendering. You will do as many razor pages as you need. So I want to try to do that next week. That will be experimental, but I think that will be beneficial for the ones who don't care or don't want to learn about all the technicities about shapes and theming and everything. You want to build a website, you have your theme, your static pages, you just want to grab the content from it and render it as you want with your razor pages or MVC controller. No auto route, nothing. That's the goal of next week. Maybe it won't work, I've never tried it, but I want to see that. Okay, so see you next week, and it's recorded, so you will see it online. Thanks everyone, bye bye.